So I did a video 2 months ago talking about picking up this thing. It's an old telephone exchange, and yeah, it's a bit of a crazy thing that I ended up doing, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, this had been stored for a little while in a garden and stuff like that, and it's a bit of a rusty old hunk of junk, and at the time when I got hold of it, it didn't really work, and over the past couple of months, I've sort of pretty much got it to work, sort of ish, and I've done loads of videos over on the museum's channel. This museum's not obsolete, so if you're interested in how this has gone on and where it's at now, and you can basically use it pretty much as an exchange, pretty much, which is cool, well, go and check out the videos over there. The links are below. But today we're actually going to do something with it. What we have here is a setup that is hopefully going to be able to let us use this in a musical way. I don't know whether this is going to work out, but we're going to give it a go. So first, before we look at the setup that we're going to use to try and make this somewhat musical, first we need to have a look at how the telephone works. So if you were a kid and you had one of these and somebody put a lock over the dial, well, there was always a way to get around it. You could call the number still using the hang up button. All you had to do is just tap it pretty quickly. So if we wanted to tap a 5, we'd tap it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it would go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And you're able to make a call without even touching the dial. Hang up. Well, today we're going to do a pretty similar method. However, we're going to use another one of these Teletubby tidal wave circuit boards. It's been slightly modified. I've hot glued a few mini jack sockets onto it, so we're able to wire it up and let the BeatStep Pro control the relays. These 8 relays are basically going to act like 8 phones. So we've basically got 8 phones controlled by the BeatStep Pro. So hopefully with this, we're able to somewhat make this mama musical. And I think the only way we're going to find out if this is going to work is to wire one in and see what the fudge happens. All these relays are doing are basically acting like the hang up button that we just did in the telephone over there. So all it's doing is just creating a short, and every time it creates a short between these 2 wires, well, it's basically going to make this thing go clickety clickety click. Well, at least I hope so. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll find out. There might be some sparks, so hold on to your pants. Just gonna jam them into the right test ports and we'll see if we can make this work. I think that's the right one. Right, let's see if it does it. Yes. Oh, this is gonna be funny. So we're probably not gonna be able to do this forever because, you know, these things don't want to grind themselves into oblivion. So yeah, let's try and make this sort of quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and find the best tempo first. There's a pause, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I haven't got a bleeding clue how musical this is going to get, so we'll just have to see if we can actually get some sort of a rhythm. I'm hoping it's going to sound like Stomp, basically. We'll find out soon. Don't worry, there's loads of synthesizer-based projects coming up. This is probably one of the last telephone exchange projects you're going to see on this YouTube channel, so don't worry. I haven't gone completely mad. Maybe. Right, let's go for 2. We got a sort of rhythm there. Right, I never said it might be good. The problem is there's some inherent timing to these switches. I mean, it would be really easy to make them musical and in a sort of rhythmic and notey fashion if we modify these, but then you sort of ruin them because they're not really good at being musical instruments, and you know, it'd be a bit awful if we modified these to actually play notes. So I think we need to carry on trying to make these rhythmic. So after a little bit of messing around, I found that the final selectors, the ones at the top, are actually better at this than these because they're a little bit more controllable somewhat. I'll show you why. Because you send a pulse in to make them go up, and then you can control how quickly they go across. So if you listen, if you use it, if you know how you use it, like with your fingers, so like you go, oh, and then you hold it, and then you can make it really rhythmic. That is pretty good. Now I know what you're thinking. Why aren't you playing at audio rate like floppy drives? I would love to do that, but these things, sadly, they won't run at audio rate. They're running pretty damn quick at the minute, and like I don't want to use them too much like this because they might just wear out, and that is not a good idea. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, but I feel that, yeah, with this acting as a bit more of a chugga 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 chugga, and this one like a snare, I'm going to add a couple more, and we're going to add some drums, see where we can get to, and then, yeah, we might need to park this idea. Before these literally turn into iron filings, I want to make sure that I try it out with the drum machine and see if we could get a couple of rhythms down, and we got to call it a day before this literally just turned into a big pile of yeah, rusty shavings. There's some ideas that are good ideas, and there's some ideas that are bad ideas. Ah, well, you know, I tried it at least. You should never go into an experiment expecting the outcome to be good. You should go into the experiment with no expectations, and that's sort of what I've done this time, actually. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I don't know. Maybe there is another way of doing this that is slightly better. However, I have a feeling that might require these things to be modified. I've got one of these that's a little bit far gone to be usable here, and maybe we can actually turn that one into something that can be used at audio rate, like all of the relays just going. That would be a bit more like a floppatron, and then we can plop it in the side and it can play the melodies and stuff. Maybe there's a part 2 to this, but not in a while. There's not going to be a load more videos on the telephone exchange on this channel. I'm going to go back to the synthesizers, and I will be. The next one actually is pretty retro computer related. So yeah, keep an eye out. If you want some samples of this, well, it's available over on Patreon, and also you can come and play on this. Not musically, but loads of stuff over at the museum. The museum is open nearly every week over the next month or so. So if you want to go and get some tickets, go and check them out below. People were playing on them all today and stuff, and it worked out pretty good because this is finally working. I don't know whether I've completely ruined it now. Let's find out. Anyway, I've been looking at my computer. This museum is not obsolete, and this is a telephone exchange. Don't be scared to try it, but maybe don't try this. Maybe don't. It's a bit silly.